Let me ask you a question, a genuine question to everyone in this room, okay? I want you to think about a time in your life when you decided to learn something, and when you started learning this thing, whatever this thing was, you said to yourself, I can't do that. That's just too difficult, that's impossible, no way. I won't ever be able to do that thing, not in a million years. No, that thing is impossible. But now, that impossible thing, you can do effortlessly. Now, maybe it was something at university or A-levels, or I don't know, secondary or junior or primary. Maybe it's absolutely nothing to do with school, but something that you learned, that when you started learning, you said to yourself, my God, that thing's impossible. I can't do that, but now you can do it effortlessly. I'm not going to pick on you, I promise, but if you've got an answer to that question, put your hand up now so I've got a sense of how many. Alright, that's a real chunk. All those who just put up their hands, here's a follow-up question, right? What did you need to do to get good at that seemingly impossible thing? Not what thoughts did you need? Not what things did you need? Not what help did you need? What did you need to do to get good at that seemingly impossible thing? If you have a one-word answer to that question, put your hand up now and keep your hand up. I want to go to a range of people. I'm going to go to you, madam, because I didn't take your question. What did you need to do? Practice, madam. Persevere. Self-belief. Practice. Practice. Practice at the top. Practice and behind. Practice. Persevere. Practice.
Attitude.
Something about attitude here. Practice. Practice. Well, you know what? I think we made our point, right? Most words were practice. The other words that weren't practiced were mainly synonyms of the word practice. And you need to have the right attitude too. We know how we get good at seemingly impossible things. We do it through hold on a second. If we can do the seemingly impossible, right, we must be geniuses. Thank you very much. I'm going to be changing seats with you in a moment, and you'll listen. It'll be a rest from my sore bottom, because I'm sat on an uncomfortable book, but less of that. Okay, we must be geniuses. But come on, Robin. For goodness sake, everyone knows that geniuses are born, not made yet. It's a good question. I'm very glad that you asked. I mean, they look like us, don't they, geniuses? They drink tea like we do. They might even get their Garibaldi and pop it into... They do the sorts of things that we do, but surely, right, they are a different species. Well, maybe, maybe not. I'm going to show you three geniuses. Three definite geniuses. Here's genius number one. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, perhaps the greatest composer of all time. I mean, not ABBA good, right? But good, all the same. A definite genius, right? But you've got to factor in that when he was 5, his father, Leopold, put him on an intensive program of study, of composition, of performance. By the time he'd composed his first masterwork, he was 21. In other words, right, he'd had 16 years of practice, perseverance. In his own words, it is a mistake to think that the practice of my art has become easy to me. I assure you, dear friend, no one has given so much care to the study of composition as I. Not that I was touched by the music fairy. Genius number 2. A definite genius, Michelangelo. Sculptor extraordinaire, of course, and architect and engineer and painter and philosopher and poet, Renaissance man. A definite genius, considered to be and revered as such as a genius in his own lifetime. Happy to accept that he is, but you've got to factor in that when he was 4, his family got into, watch this, unfortunate financial circumstances, so that he had to go and work and live with a local stonemason family. At 4, he was out stonemasonering. I've just made up a word, but you get the idea. At 4. In his own words, and I just think this is gorgeous. If people knew how hard I had to work to gain my mastery, it would not seem so wonderful at all. That is just beautiful. Okay, we've had an Austrian genius, we've had an Italian genius. I think it's about time that we had a British genius. I was thinking Newton, but no, I'm going to go for David Beckham. Thank you for laughing. A genius in a different field, perhaps. Ouch. Oh, by the way, that might be the 3rd or 4th best laugh I've ever had once I've shown that picture. That's up there. The best laugh I've ever had when I was in a secondary school, and there was about 80 or 90 teachers there, and I showed the David Beckham thing, and the roar roar of laughter that I got from everyone there was just massive, right? And a woman came up to me afterwards and she said, "My goodness, you really did your research, didn't you? That was fantastic about David Beckham." And I said, "Well, thank you very much. I'm really glad that you thought so." And when I showed the picture, there was a teacher at the back said, "Yeah, but David Beckham got a G in geography." A G in geography. And I said, "Well, that's very kind of you. I didn't know that. It's good to know this stuff, especially about celebrities. So thank you, madam. That's lovely." And I thought, well, that's just a bit weird. And I'm driving home and I'm going through the M25 and I get home and I think, I'm just going to research. So I do the Google thing and it turns out I was at David Beckham's old school. They were his teachers. They thought I put the picture of David Beckham there for them. I hadn't. And that was his geography teacher. So now we know, right? He got a G in geography. Text your friends about that. But we do know his story, right? I mean, his story is that actually he grew up at the local park and he's there with his dad, interestingly, again, practicing those dead balls, those free kicks. And he did it hour after hour after hour after hour. In his own words. I've always believed that if you want to achieve anything special in life, open brackets, not geography, close brackets, you have to work, and then work some more. And surely that's an attitude that he's taken to his life in other areas. The irony is, he's really good at geography now because he's been around the world. Doesn't seem fair, does it? So, have I convinced you that most students, no, nay even, everyone in this room has the potential to be a genius? Well, I'm glad I've got a musical accompaniment to that question because it requires that sort of music. Well, I'm looking around the room. I can see that lots of people are looking at me and nodding. That's fantastic. Some are shaking their head. One is sleeping. Could you nudge that person, please? Wake them up. That's just rude. Well, look, I'm going to give you a little bit more information. This man here is called Laszlo Poga. I guess he's in his 60s, perhaps in this picture, but the story begins in his 20s. Laszlo, Hungarian, lived in Budapest, a psychologist. He believed, right, that geniuses are made, not born. And that being a genius is the result of hard work and fortunate circumstances. Well, we understand hard work because that's practice, perseverance, right? And something called fortunate circumstances. And he believed this so much that he wrote in a book called Bring Up Genius, a book for parents to bring up their children to be genius. So, he's got the thesis, he's got the book. The only thing he was missing in his life, actually, was a woman to have babies with. So he did what any red-blooded male would do. He went onto a dating website, except it was the 1960s, so he sent pen pal letters across Eastern Europe. This lady, Clara, agreed to meet. I'm inserting this into the story, but I believe it to be true. They fell in love. They must have done, because they had 3 daughters. The oldest daughter is called Susan. So, he's got the idea, he's got the daughter, he's got the wife, he's got the book, he's got the thesis. The only thing now is he doesn't know in what way to bring Susan up to be a genius. She's 4. She's toddling around the flat in Budapest, and from the coffee table, she picks up a chess piece. And he says, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to teach my daughter, right, to be a chess genius. The only thing is he didn't play much himself. He was an amateur player. Clara didn't play at all. So he went to the local library to, define my times. Library. It's like a sort of early version of Google. If that helps. I don't know if that helps. Anyway, he went to the local library to get as many books as, thank you for laughing, Maddie, to get as many books as he possibly could, but that wasn't really enough. So he got people who were good at chess to come to the flat to teach him and to teach his daughter. So she's 4 when she picks up the chess piece. Age 5, she won the Under-11 Girls Budapest title. The other girls towered above her. She couldn't see the chessboard. She had to sit on books, ironically, on a chair to see the chessboard, to play her 10 games. She won every one of the 10 games. Age 12, won the Under-16 Girls World title. Age 14, became the top-rated female player in the world. First woman ever to become a grandmaster. She was 22. She thinks that she would become a grandmaster earlier than that, but there was lots of sexism in the game back then. By the way, I've been doing a bit of research. It's still there. 4 world championships and 5 Olympiads, and this is just a selection. And, oh yeah, the chess triple crown. She won titles in championship chess, rapid chess, and blitz chess, all in the same year. Sort of like Djokovic of the chess table. Could Laszlo work his magic on his next daughter, Sophia? Forgive me, I just said work his magic. This has got absolutely nothing to do with magic. This is a combination of hard work and fortunate circumstances. Well, one fortunate circumstance is that Sophia has an older sister who's good at chess. That must be a fortunate circumstance. Another one is that Laszlo's been through this process once already. Well, let's see. Age 5, Sophia won the Under 11 Girls Hungarian Championship. Her sister only won the bigger pair. Age 11, she won the Under 14 Girls World Championships. And then, age 14, something called the Miracle in Rome. She had 8 games of chess against 8 of the world's best players, all men. 3 of them were Grand Masters, and she won every single one. It's considered to be the 5th greatest chess performance in history by either a man or a woman. Could Laszlo work his magic on his youngest daughter, Judith? I said it again, didn't I? I'm so sorry, it's got nothing to do with magic. It's hard work and fortunate circumstances. Well, one fortunate circumstance is that now, I guess, Judith's got 2 sisters who are really good at chess. And Laszlo's been through this process twice now. Well, let's see. Age 5, Judith defeated her neighbour. To be fair though, if my daughter defeated my neighbour, age 5, I'd be well chuffed. Never met my neighbour. I love it. I mean, really, really love it. I need to tell you that when she did this, age 5, defeated her neighbour, Judith was herself blindfolded. She was playing the game in her head and saying where the chess pieces should go. Age 7, defeated a master. She was blindfolded. 7. Age 10, she defeated an international master. That's 1 down from a grandmaster. She's still in primary. Age 11, a grandmaster. Age 12, she was rated the #1 female chess player in the world, a position that she held until August 2014, when she retired. Youngest ever grandmaster, male or female, at 50. The record before was held by a little-known chess player called Bobby Fischer. Chances are we've heard of Bobby Fischer. Chances are we've not heard of Judith Polgar. I don't think that reflects badly on us, but I do think it reflects badly on society in some kind of way. And all because this man believed that geniuses are made. He believed it, not born, and that being a genius is a result of hard work and fortunate circumstances, and he wrote it in a book even before he had children. How's that for audacious? And here they are, by the way, in their family picture that we've just seen, Judith in the middle, and here they are as adults in the same order, Judith again in the middle. I like to see how faces change or don't change over time. By the way, this is the end of the presentation. I just do this for another 45 minutes now. I think it's a good time. I like it, you know. For a very long time, I thought those ladies, these 3 ladies here, were really small. I did. But the more I look at that photograph, no, I think that's just a big chessboard behind them.